Hello, hello, hello. I'm Megan DiMartino, and I am so pleased to be here with you today. I have been in the trenches of business for 30 years, and I'd like to share some information about success. The one thing about success, my friends, is that it's a word that really must be understood. Success in what? Where are you looking at? Is it success in your life, your family life, your personal life? That is a very misleading word to me because success is based on money, fancy things, fancy clothes, travel. What is success? Success Women's Conference. What I'd like to share with you today is my journey, which I call Propel. Propel, because I want to help you propel to the business and life of your dreams. If that's success, let's call it success, because I want you to really understand how to get to that place. I'm a real nuts and bolts kind of girl. Because if you don't have clarity of what your mission, your vision, and then take action with that, nothing is going to happen. So we can talk about success all day long, but if you don't break it down into small, manageable parts, but truly let's start now in propelling your life, your business and life activator with your vision. Let's talk about that first. What is your vision? Are you clear about that? Are you clear about what you want? Because if you are not, you will be vacillating from place to place. You'll say one day, I want to do, let's say an entrepreneurial company. You want to start a brick and mortar. The next day, you might say, you know what, that seems pretty daunting, with the things that go into that from the standpoint of lease acquisition to location understanding to demographic study. So then you say, whoa, 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 let's not do brick and mortar. Let's do direct sales. Great. But again, you have to understand the dynamics of that. So it is that vision. You might say, well, I'm a stylist. I've been a stylist for years and I want to go into extensions. Or I'm an esthetician. I want to have a mobile unit. Great. All of those things are important. You must see it. You must plan it, but you must own it. So that's that vision. As the word says, my people will perish for lack of knowledge, but it also says that you must write it down on tablets. So that what that really is saying when God said to Moses, write it down on tablets, is that vision, understand my word and write it down. So if you don't know what you want to do, you're absolutely not going to do it. And I'm not trying to be harsh and I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just talking from my own experience. I have been an entrepreneur since I can think of myself. As I visualize myself as a little girl, I was the one on the streets of Long Island in a very, very blue collar neighborhood. And I was the one that put on the plays and I set up the lemonade stand. And one day I said to my friends, male and female, let's go on an adventure. I was probably 6 or 7. And I wanted to take them on an adventure because I've always had this wanderlust. So everyone had a bike, and if they didn't, they rode together. And I drew out a little map, and I charged them, I think, 10 cents, something like that, to go on this journey with me. Well, we then went across this main street. Oh, I got in trouble for that. But it was so great and it was so fun to put that program together and to help these folks, these young kids, actualize on some level their dreams because they wanted to go on this journey with me. But I was I would say, my mother would say, I should say, and the instigator of this, but I was the orchestrator of this. So I had, though, that vision of putting that plan together because, again, from thinking about me and remembering me, if I was not creating, I was not happy. So my life's journey has been to create. So I've understood my passion. My passion is to create. We'll get into purpose and passion in a minute. I want to stay with you on visualizing, seeing it. You have to see it. So as time went on, I knew that, as I said, I wanted to create. So as let's say teenage years, for my prom dresses and party dresses, if you want to call them that, my mother and I would go to the pattern store, and my mother was very good at this, and she was able to take a bodice from one pattern and let's say the arm or sleeve from another, and then the bottom area from another, and piece it together. So she really taught me that. And I thought I was going to be a fashion designer, but that again is a whole different story. And I, though loved to create, even to my wedding dress was creating. I always knew that. And so I was going to go to school for fashion merchandising and fashion design. And I did. I went for 1 year. And then you can read in my book, Hope and Possibilities Just Over the Horizon. It's never too early or too late to create the life of your dreams. So my dreams stopped. It wasn't hope deferred, but it stopped. That dream right there. And I'm not going to go into it at this point. I want you to go to my website, megandimartino.com, and put your information in and download the ebook. But I wrote this book, Hope and Possibilities Just Over the Horizon. It's never too early or too late to create the life of your dreams. Published it in December of 2019 on Amazon. And January 4th, 2020, it went to #1 in 4 business categories. And so that is my gift to you. It's an ebook and it's on my website. And it gives all of these stories and these points of this. I'm not going to babble on here because this is about you. It's about you and your success. But again, I want you to really look at the word success and understand really, what does that mean to you? What do you really want? What do you really want? That vision. See it, own it in every marrow of your body. What you want. And the next step is your mission. Your mission is your why. Or as Danelle Delgado said, why not? Because I always give people credit where credit is due. But it is, you've heard your mission, your purpose. But purpose is a little different than your why. As I said, we'll go into purpose and passion in a minute. But your mission is non-negotiable. Your mission is when you have seen it and you own it and you know what you want to do, then your mission is your why, and why are you doing it? And as I said, she said, and also your why not. So you're looking at, well, I really don't want to, so that's your why not. But let's stay with why today. The why. Because why would you do anything? Clarity leads to power. But you have to see it and then believe it. Believe it in your heart. Because if you don't believe it, then it's going to be just this quicksand, and it will not be built on a firm foundation. That, as I said, that mission is non-negotiable. You have to see it and believe it and start it, and it has to be non-negotiable, because again, if it isn't that passion and with that purpose, you will then talk yourself out of it. It's just like, you say, on Monday, I'm going to start a diet. Well, your mission would be, you see yourself thinner, you want to be thinner. Your mission is to start working on the treadmill, walk, 3-mile walk every day, whatever it is. But that's starting. Your mission is that. But if it's non-negotiable, guess what? It's raining today. Oh, I don't feel so well. I stayed up late last night. I really haven't had enough sleep. Then it ends. That's why you have to have that non-negotiable. No matter what, you're going to stay with it. When I started this podcast that I do called Unique Leaders Live, which we started in April of 2020, I had no earthly idea that the average podcast is maybe 7 episodes. 7, I heard recently. Well, that's really not a podcast. Why would you even bother? You're just getting in the swing of things. But I knew, my friends, when I started this podcast, that I was not going to go back. I've had times where I've questioned it, saying, is this really making a difference? Is this worth the time and the energy and the commitment to do this? But I made a decision after I really got going, so to speak, that I was going to continue on with this. I wasn't going to stop because, and this is the because, when you have that mission and you have that understanding that this is that commitment and you're not going to stop, as I said, non negotiable, things evolve from it. Nothing stays the same. But to start, you have to see it, you have to believe it, and then start. And is that mission, that why, and that is non negotiable. My spa, which I started in 2004, I personally am a licensed esthetician in the state of Texas. So I lived in Fort Worth, Texas. I moved to Texas in 1987 for a job with Alcon Laboratories. All of this is in my book. And I was going to do a training center and a spa in Fort Worth, but God had a different plan. Too long of a story. It's in the book. But I saw Georgetown, Texas, the summer of '03. It's right outside of Austin. So it's a really great area. And I said, I felt in my spirit, I'm supposed to be here. I could feel that. And so I continued to study it, market research, demographic study. And I really saw that on so many levels, it was where I wanted to be. So I started this business, guys, in one room in a hair salon here in Georgetown. Now, why do I share this story with you? Because I want you to see my vision was to do a brick and mortar spa and an education center. That was my vision. My mission was, and the why was to have that education center to help others learn and grow and have that foundation. My heart is always to help you grow. And this is regardless of being in the spa or the beauty industry. Business is business. Success is success. Again, how you measure success is different. That's why I started this off by saying, what is success to you? But I knew my mission was to do that. So I started, because I'm a licensed esthetician, and I found a salon that I thought was suitable to be in, a good location and had a good client base, and they had a treatment room. So I signed a lease and started there. And Valentine's Day 2004, didn't even live in the town. I lived in Fort Worth still. I wanted to test the market before I finally committed that mission. I was testing the waters. And so I started that one room, didn't know a soul, not one person. Asked the owner of this salon if I could use her rollabout and talk to her clients, which I did. And I went up to people who were, let's say, sitting under a hair dryer or their hair color was processing, and asked them, did they want to have a hand peel? Introduced myself, and they said, oh, sure. And so I would do one hand so they would see the difference. That ingratiated myself to them. And so I invited them into my little area where I sat down with them and talked to them about their dreams, goals, and desires, meaning what they were looking for from their needs, because you solve a problem and serve a need. And so I wanted to ascertain that information and also meet them to get to know them, because people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So I started building a base of relationship with these people. That was this salon's client base. And then from there, I built that business. During that season, I decided I was going to move there. So I sold my home in Fort Worth, and my warehouse still remained in Fort Worth, had a good team there, and I came to Georgetown, Texas, outside of Austin. During that season, I started the first Novitas Spa on the square in a furniture store, no less. Beautiful, beautiful home furnishing, interior design business. But regardless, it was a furniture store. And I had 1,000 square feet. So from one room, it was 3 rooms. It had a relaxation room and a pedicure sanctuary, as I called it. But I designed it and did it. So I went from that one room to this 1,000 square feet. And then during that 2-year lease, I took the building next door and remodeled it and created what became the Novitas Spa and Medical Rejuvenation Clinic on the square in Georgetown. I share that with you because I had a vision and then I had a mission, but God just shifted the town. It was 2.5 hours south, and I had to see really if this is what I wanted to do. But I had that mission. I was clear from seeing it, and that mission was to start this and to help others to grow and to learn, and of course, to serve the community from their skincare, body care needs and result orientation. So I was very clear on that as well. But I needed to train that staff and help them build and help them grow. So that has been and was my mission. And but the net of those two start, meaning with that vision, and then that mission is to take action. So I saw it, I believed it, and then when God moved the furniture and I moved to Georgetown, Texas, I took action again and did all of what I just shared with you. So it's that vision, that mission, and then take action. You have to see it, you have to believe it, and you have to take action. That is the most important thing of starting. Scaling, you hear the term scaling all the time. Scaling, there's many factors to scaling. Scaling essentially is to grow your business. But scaling also is marketing, it's education, it's training. It is a myriad of things. It's events, it's understanding the need of your business. But that's that scaling, adding things to your business to help it grow. But then sustaining is the big kahuna. That is the key, because if you start and begin to scale and then say, oh man, this is pretty difficult. Oh boy, I have to work 7 days a week. Oh man, I have to work 18-hour days. Maybe not. That is meaning that mission, that non-negotiable, really you were not committed to that. So it is that mission that is so critical to own that and then take action. And I want you to understand that it is not easy. It is not. It is a marathon. It is not a sprint. You have to commit to that. Speaking of marathon, I have a friend who did the Boston Marathon, the London Marathon, and this past weekend, the New York Marathon. And guess what? I share that because of that marathon, not a sprint. Regina Fleming committed to doing this, and she trained and she was ready and she did it. But guess what? She said to me after the London Marathon that she was not sure. Well, let me say it this way. She knew she was going to do the New York Marathon, but she said if she had known how difficult this was going to be, she was not necessarily going to, or she might not have done it. But she saw it, she had that mission, that non-negotiable, and she took action. So I want you to see, and that's why I'm continuing this talk with you, because here my assistant, my producer is here with me, and she's like going, oh my gosh, but you know what? It doesn't matter. We were going to be in a studio today doing this because I was out of town last week and I didn't have the opportunity to do this, but the studio itself was not clear of what I wanted. So we just said, you know what? We're going to do it here because I have a commitment to Kern Sherry and I have a commitment to you to give you the tools of a success formula. You must own that you have to see it, but you must love doing it, because if you love what you're doing, now I'm going to get to happy here, because if you love what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life. It might be a lot of work. It might be where you say, holy moly, but take that rest. You have to reward yourself during that season, but know that it's worth it. And that success, I'm telling you guys, this is the bottom line. That success, and I'm not equating it to money. I'm not equating it to notoriety. I am not equating it to any of those outward tangible things. I'm talking about satisfaction with yourself, doing what you love. Those things will come. They will absolutely will come. But you have to see it. You have to believe it, and you have to take action. See it, own it. Then have that mission, that non-negotiable, that why. Purpose is understanding that why. My purpose is you. My purpose, I said it earlier, is helping others identify their dreams, goals, and desires, and then help you actualize them. My passion is creativity, is doing this, is creating programs, writing and doing and so forth. It is my passion. So I'm clear on those two things. And I am not going to stop because you need this. You do. You need a coach. You need understanding. I am here for you. I'm about to launch my Propel course, Propel Activation, to build build a business and life of your dreams, to start, scale, and sustain. And sustain is going to be coaching and masterminding, to have that one-on-one, but also with a team, because you have to have a coach. You have to. I'm not saying it's going to be me. I would love that. And it could be, the virtual course, the start and scale, and also some other programs I have. But you need coaches. That was one of the mistakes I made in my business early on. There weren't any coaches out there in 1992 when I started my first skincare brand, Glycolique. So I'm not saying, I'm not giving myself a hard time. I'm giving myself a hall pass. But what I'm saying is, if I had had a mentor and coach, it would have been much easier. So just know that that is so important, to find that team leader, the leader that listens to you, encourages you, advises you, and develops you. That's so critical, to find that person that has a heart for you and will be with you every step of the way. Very, very important. So know that I'm here. I am here for you to start, scale, and sustain the business and life of your dreams. And I say life because if you're not doing what you love from a business position, then that is only going to be a job. So many people start a business. Again, I don't care if it's a brick and mortar, a mobile business, network sales, doesn't matter. If you are not doing what you love, then that business becomes a job. And you need that team leader. You need that coach and mentor. You need people that surround yourself and applaud you along the way. Doesn't have to be your family or your significant other. It just needs to be people. And that would be great if it is. But you need people that will applaud you and be there with you every step of the way. So I am here for you, not only today, but going forward. Just know that I am your can't even say it, success facilitator. So through phones ringing, well, that's great. People are calling to buy things, with our skincare Novitas Spa clinical products. All of that is great. But I wanted you to see that I was not going to stop just because the studio was not available. There was a miscommunication. So I wanted you to know that I am going to follow through with my commitments. My commitment is you. So know that I am here for you. So today, Megan DiMartino, thank you so much. And know that there is always hope and infinite possibilities just over the horizon. You just have to take that step, that vision, that mission and action. And it is never too early. I don't care what age you are. And it's never too late to create the life of your dreams, which is encompassed with your faith. It is true success. Thank you so much, and be blessed.